Georgiana Hayes' fingers were bitten with cold as she pulled the rag of a dark red cloak tighter around her small frame. Shivering, she realized that the weather was the least of her worries, as her stomach grumbled. When had she last eaten? 2 days ago? If she closed her eyes and blocked out the nightmare of her current situation, she could still remember the taste of her last warm meal, the potatoes covered in butter, and the roast lamb that had been brined and well prepared for the guests who were to attend dinner. Months had passed since she had eaten a full meal, or sat at a table with other guests. Lately, her food came snatched from the market, and she ate in the shadows to keep from getting caught. Gianna's hands twitched, and whether it was from the cold or her nerves, she knew she had no choice if she wanted to survive. At 23, her prospects for marriage had dwindled. Now she was living on the streets. She once had been betrothed to a handsome gentleman with a thick accent from Sheffield, but he had perished in an unexpected fire that burned down his estate, with him locked up inside. Her parents had assured Gianna that another man would take her hand. She just needed to give them time to secure her a proper marriage. The thought had not seemed so dire until the scandal that had forced her from her childhood home and out onto the street. The cold assaulted her lungs and made her nose throb every time she crinkled her face just slightly to ensure that it had not been entirely numbed from frostbite. The winter was far more brutal this year than any other she could remember. Or perhaps her lack of appropriate attire for the cold simply made it feel that way. Without a proper coat, galoshes, mittens, or a hat, Gianna felt certain she would freeze to death. The dress she was wearing was appropriate for a brisk autumn afternoon, but not for the colder months of winter. The sleeves of the gown were thin and light with white lace, which had torn weeks ago. The hem of the black and gold garment had been muddied, tattered, and soiled from her sleeping on the grass or a cold cobblestone alley. She had been using the cloak to shield herself from the elements and blanket herself